Great.
Let me know when it says go live, if you would.
It does.
All right. Hey, guys, we're live on the Real Estate Investing Hot Seat podcast. Just give me a second to do a couple of back-end high-tech computer modifications, which don't seem to be working today. So, all right. We'll try one other thing. Just stick with us for 1 second, and we'll jump into our awesome show. We have Puran all the way from sunny San Francisco, California. There
Happy
we
to be
go.
here. Thank you.
Happy to have you, man. All right. Let's rock and roll. Hope everyone is doing awesome today. It's a beautiful day here in Northern Virginia. All right, everyone say hi to our guest, Puran. He's a wholesaler facing some challenges in his business. Stick around to learn how to find deals and build systems when you don't have a ton of money. This is a live hot seat that we do each Tuesday where my guests will present their obstacles they're facing with real estate investing, and I'm going to crush each and every one of them. Besides helping real estate investors take their business to another level, I do these live streams to show you that you can change your life and your situation through real estate investing. If we haven't met before, I'm Brad Chandler, and I teach people how to find freedom through real estate investing using a tactic called wholesaling, which doesn't require credit or tons of cash to succeed. I started in 2003 with a negative $80,000 net worth. I was one of the 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. It wasn't fun. Since then, I've been able to build Express Home Buyers into a company that does 200 wholesale deals per year and generates millions of dollars in wholesale fees without my day-to-day involvement. I no longer live paycheck to paycheck. You can do the same, I promise. Just listen to this live stream and download my free training where I walk you through an actual deal that we've made $33,750 on without buying or renovating the house. I'll give you a link to the free training at the end. Anyway, give me a second to share this broadcast to my personal page. While I'm doing this, let me know where you're watching from by typing it in the comments below. I'd love to hear where you're listening from. Whether you're watching live or watching a rebroadcast, let me know as I check this video after the live broadcast is done. So make sure to leave a comment or a question. This live cast isn't just meant to help Puran. It's meant to help you as well. So please write your questions in the comments below. Also, please share this video post. And if you like what I say, click the thumbs up. And if you want to send some love because I said something great, click the heart button and send me some love. Could you go right now and in the comments below, tell us where you're from, where you're watching from, and send me some love by clicking the heart. I super appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Real Estate Investing Hot Seat live stream podcast. I want to welcome Puran to the show. Welcome, Puran. How are you, man?
I'm good. I really appreciate you having me on, and just happy to be on the call. Hi, everyone.
So give us a little bit. How did you get here, and why you're on this call today?
Well, I guess I'm on this call today because I'm looking for guidance. I'm looking for some help, some feedback. I know I need it. I guess a little prior to that, how I got interested in real estate in any sort of serious way was that I was on an email list for kind of entrepreneurial people and new business ideas and this and that. And I ended up listening to a podcast with, I guess, kind of like a real estate guru of sorts. And I ended up purchasing a course. This was early 2017. And it essentially gave me all the nuts and bolts about wholesaling. And so I went through the whole course, and just went through it all. I just, consumed it. I was really excited. And then after that, I was like, okay, I have the information I need. Let me go and execute. So basically, I don't want to drone on too long, but essentially, I started trying out some of the recommended practices about trying to generate leads for motivated sellers.
Right.
For me, that was initially driving for dollars and also door knocking. where I am now, I realized I had no real systems in place, and also this course I had didn't really. There weren't kind of all the processes in place for me to kind of keep track of things, which is still something that I would say I struggle with now. Um, I definitely really appreciate that course, but it kind of was like maybe a partial picture.
Right.
Anyways, I'll let you jump in, or feel free
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
No,
let me know.
thanks for sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
If everyone could welcome Puran by sending some love by clicking on the heart button right now, that would be awesome. So you're in San Francisco. It sounds like you've got real estate and some other stuff going on
Mhm.
based on what we talked about briefly before the call. Can you
Yes.
tell me what have you done in the last 12 months? What are you doing from a marketing standpoint? And well, let's start there. What
Yeah.
have you actually done in the last 12 months?
Okay. I'd say the most important thing I've done from a marketing standpoint is created a website. I want to say created lightly because I used OnCarrot, Investor Carrot, and followed the instructions about setting up essentially a wholesaling website. So I got that going. Um, Aside from that, very recently, really, just only in the end of March, I sent my first round of direct mail, um, which I see as the main and primary way, at least right now, that I'm going to be in touch with the demographic that I'm hoping to be in touch with. So the website and the direct mail very recently. The website's been up for a good year or so, and I've continually, as I learn things, I change things. Um, those are the main things I would say that I primarily do. Again, I kind of way back when, not way back when, but initially I was doing the driving for dollars and the door knocking, which I haven't been doing for many months now. I kind of did it. I guess I kind of went hard at it, and then I kind of backed off after. I guess I didn't see the results I was hoping for, and then I kept studying. I was a member of Bigger Pockets, different things, and then kind of went more the direct mail. I realized that direct mail seemed to make more sense, so that's why I went that way.
Okay. All right. Let's unpack some of the stuff. So,
Sure.
you mentioned driving for dollars. You
Mhm.
had you had no system, and of course, without a system, most things fall apart, right? In business,
Yes.
if you don't have a system. So there is a fantastic app that I came across in the last month, just absolutely mind blowing. You could drive by a house, you take a picture, it automatically sends, it looks up the owner, and for $1, for 99 cents, it sends a postcard with the picture of the house on the front and back of the postcard. You do this, you can set it up to do it 3 times, 10 times, whatever. It's all automated. So that becomes your system. The gentleman who owns the company has told us that people are finding about $600 a cost per lead to get a deal.
Mhm.
Now, even in San Francisco, if it was 10 times that, it would still be amazing because San Francisco, the wholesale fees in San Francisco could easily be into the six figures, easily into the $100,000, $200,000 range.
Mhm.
So to find that app, just go to bradchandler.com/DFD, for short for driving for dollars. And you'll actually get a free 14-day trial. And then David, the owner, actually throws in for us another $20 of mailing, just completely free. So definitely go do that. And then start. Why did you stop, Puran? Why did you stop driving for dollars and doing the door knocking?
Um, I at the time I wouldn't follow up. So it was kind of like, okay, I've identified property. I would jot it down in a notebook, or I would put it on my phone in the notes in my iPhone notes, and then I would door knock then and there. Um, but I didn't. What I didn't do is after the fact, when I went home or maybe the next day, kind of, put it into Excel or something like that. So I had all these notes of where I had been. So I didn't go to the same place again, but I didn't, I know follow-up is so, crucial in really any business. And I hadn't been doing that. Um, so I
So
realized that,
it just got overwhelmed. Did it just get overwhelming for you? And you're like, it's overwhelming. It's not working. I'm not doing this consistently. So I'll just stop it.
um, yes. And also I was thinking there's got to be either I have to learn how to do what I'm doing better, or I have to figure out if I shouldn't keep doing this, if I should try something different. So I kind of started studying again more and seeing what kind of there's so many ways to do something to wholesale or really anything, but then I kind of gravitated towards the direct mail. But yeah, so I guess I didn't have the follow up in place.
Okay. Yeah. So now you've got this app at bradchandler.com/DFD for driving for dollars. I'm going to urge you that there is a lot of stuff you can do to find motivated sellers, but when you don't have a big budget, this is one of the best things to do. And with this application, it makes it really easy. So what I'm going to tell you to do is here's how you find the best neighborhoods. Look in San Francisco. Take the average or the median home price, which I know is ridiculously high. What is it? Close to $1 million in San Francisco?
Yeah. About 800.
800. So drive the neighborhoods where the average price in those neighborhoods is in San Francisco, probably 20 to 30% below, because you're not going to find them you're not going to find a whole lot of deals in the $2 million range. Mm-hmm. So for driving for dollars, whether you're in San Francisco or in Tuscaloosa or Spokane, Washington, don't drive the high-end neighborhoods. Drive the neighborhoods that are 20, 30% below. Mm-hmm. Amazing nugget right there. If you like that, send me some love by clicking on the heart button, please, because that was a good one, and that will make you some money. Everything in business is the consistency is so important when it comes to marketing. So it sounds like you've tried a bunch of stuff and it didn't work. Driving for dollars works. So if you want to start that back up, I'd highly urge you to do that. Target those neighborhoods. Door knocking. If you're out there driving and you find something that's really great, not only take a picture and send it to them because it may be a tenant occupied house, but you can stop and knock on the door, talk to the neighbors. You can actually, when you were driving for dollars, how were you targeting those and what lists were you pulling?
I was just visually, initially I was driving, and then I went, because I was door knocking, I just went on foot, and I did target neighborhoods that were, maybe 20 or 30% kind of below the median price, not the highest end neighborhoods. And I was looking for things like if there had been, code violations, anything posted by the city, if the house looked a lot more run down than neighboring houses, boarded up windows, broken down cars in the driveway, maybe junk in them, other sorts of, just signs of, what's the word? Just
distress. Vacancy. Yeah. So you can pull lists for door knockers. You can pull like people that are in foreclosure. You can pull people, houses that are vacant. You can pull people that have a lot of equity in their house, and you can door knock. If you're going to go that route, that's probably the cheapest way besides putting up bandit signs. So what you could do, Puran, is you could pull a list, spend a week a day, or I don't know your schedule, but as much time as you possibly can. And as you're driving out, going to target these houses, have your app with you. Of course, you're gonna have your phone with you. And as you're driving around, knocking on these houses, also do the driving for dollar app. And then you're gonna kill two birds with one stone. How does that sound?
That sounds very good.
So moving on to your website, you got a Carrot website. Whoever gave you that advice, great. Because they're the best in the business at getting motivated seller leads. If anyone wants to find out how to get that, just go to bradchandler.com/carrot, and it'll take you directly to their page. They're the best out there. So what are you doing? What have you done with your website to try to generate leads?
I followed the instructions as far as the SEO recommendations. There's probably more that can be done, but I've implemented a lot of them. And so I think if you Google sell my house fast San Francisco, it may have changed. It changes day to day, but I should be on the first page of Google. And I may be on other first pages for other common searches in the Bay Area, around the San Francisco Bay Area. So I try to implement a lot of those recommendations. And then also the other, aside from just the other kind of language. And there's on the landing page, there's a video that I put up that kind of introduces myself and what I can do for someone who might be a motivated seller.
Are you getting leads at all?
No, I'm not getting. Well, technically I am, but the last several months, they're crap. They're not real leads. They're just like small business loans and like, virtual assistant people like being like, oh, let me do this for your business. interestingly, when I first launched it, I did get some real leads, but I haven't gotten a genuine lead that's not like a fellow like investor or a wholesaler of some sort for a while. But I guess, I mean, those are leads too, but not of the motivated seller type for a while now.
What's your marketing budget a month?
A few $100.
Okay.
To be honest, about $300 to $500.
Okay.
I guess a little bit more context is I have another business, and it's seasonal. So at the end of last year, I kind of had a bit of a windfall from my other business, and my plan was to just do the real estate in the kind of the lull. And I hadn't done a deal exactly. So now my primary business is picking back up again, but still, dedicating time to real estate. But I had a lot larger budget for several months in the late fall until around this time. So now it's a little tighter, but still have a few $100s a month to devote.
Okay.
But I definitely have time. Time I have.
How much time do you have a week?
My afternoons are fairly free. I'd say I have a solid, I guess 15 hours during weekdays and a few more during weekends, depending on my primary business. But basically I do most of the work for my main business in the mornings. So by around 1 p.m. or so, I have a few hours at that time generally to devote to real estate.
Okay. I'm going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll talk about your time and we'll talk about direct mail.
Okay.
I'm going to pause to tell you guys something really cool I'm offering a select number of people. If you're one of the 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, or you're struggling trying to grow your real estate investing business, you may be interested in this opportunity. At Brad Chandler Coaching, I teach people how to find freedom in their life doing exactly what we do, and that's to invest in real estate without needing tons of money or credit. If you're interested in learning more, you can see all of what my program has to offer by going to bradchandler.com/learn. On this page, you'll find a free training where I discuss how to start and grow a real estate wholesaling business. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I help all levels of real estate investors. If you want to learn how to make tens of thousands of dollars wholesaling a house without bank loans or loads of cash, or you want to learn how to grow your existing business, go ahead and watch my free training at bradchandler.com/learn. If you're looking for freedom in your life, this could be the answer. Okay, back to Puran. Direct mail. What are you doing on the direct mail front? Actually, before we get to direct mail, let me ask you. So you're able to start working at 1 o'clock. How passionate are you about succeeding in real estate?
Real estate's what I primarily want to do. My primary business is like a passion turned business, which is great. But it's also kind of pretty physical. So real estate is what I see as
business?
It's primarily live music and also DJ'd music for events. I do actually a lot of Indian and South Asian weddings in the San Francisco Bay Area, and then also corporate events. Okay,
very cool. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how passionate are you about succeeding in real estate?
I'd put it at a 9.
Okay.
This is what I want to do moving forward in my life.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So one of my favorite sayings is getting wealthy isn't hard. It's just doing things other people aren't willing to do.
Right.
So you don't have a lot of money, and in San Francisco, a $300 to $500 marketing budget to attract motivated sellers is definitely on the low end. So you're going to have to put a lot of your time. So what keeps you from driving for dollars and door knocking from 1 p.m. till 8 o'clock at night if you have to?
I just been focusing on the direct mail. That's the only thing. I alternated my strategy from driving for dollars to direct mail.
But direct mail should only take you an hour a week to put together. So you could do that in one day.
Sure.
So I'm just making this is you don't have to answer this question, but it's just something to think about. If you're going to be successful, what you've been doing so far isn't working for you, so you've got to do something completely different. Part of it is I don't think you're putting in enough time. When I started, I worked a full-time job. I'd come home at 6 o'clock, put my newborn son to bed at 8, and then work from like 8 to 11 or 8 to midnight. Worked every weekend. So did I like doing it? Not really. It was pretty stressful and a lot of work, but it got me to where I am today. So I'm giving you this advice because it's exactly what I think you need to become successful. I think you have to, I mean, if you've got to work from 1 to midnight, whatever it takes until you get your first deal, and then you can reinvest those dollars into marketing, and then you can, do a little bit more marketing, do a little more deals, hire some people, but you got to get to that point. So let's jump to direct mail. What are you doing on the direct mail front?
So I actually spent, up until mid-March, I spent hours actually a day doing this, which I don't know was the best use of time. I got a list from the county of San Francisco of tax delinquent properties. And I went through all the records, and basically narrowed it down to about 270 properties in the entire county of San Francisco that met criteria, like they were 2 or more years tax delinquent. They had been owned for 10 plus years. I didn't differentiate between commercial or residential, but regardless, there were about 270 properties. The list was, anyways, it took me a long time to get through this list, many months of spending about 3 to 4 hours a day going through it. But that was the list that I finally mailed to recently. I didn't get any responses from it, but I know that this is a good list. And I know from yourself and so many others that, despite not having gotten a response initially, that, I got to keep following up. So I definitely will. But yeah, so that's who I mailed to.
So you mailed one time?
I've mailed one time so far. I'm going to mail.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying I'm planning to mail many, many more times.
So if you'd like a postcard of ours that we use, just text the word postcard to 855-999-1616, and it will give you the postcard that we use, just to switch it up so you're not mailing the same thing. Have you skip traced any of them and gotten phone numbers?
No. Well, actually, a couple of them I have, but I haven't called anyone. So no.
Okay. Why haven't you called anyone?
I was planning to wait till the mail went out and see who responded. But yeah, I haven't called anyone yet.
Okay. So I want you to, how many people are on this list?
Well, the only ones that met the criteria were 270. Yeah, so 270 property owners and properties.
Okay. So for a couple $100, you can skip trace all of them. I think you should skip trace all of them. I think the message should be, hey, I'm following up. What did your postcard say, by the way?
It basically said, hi, I'm a local small business owner. I didn't mention that I said that I got their information from the county, and that I was interested in purchasing their property, and I'd be happy to discuss it with them. I didn't, say that, I noticed that you were tax delinquent, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know the breakdown of commercial properties versus residential properties on that list?
I don't know off the top of my head, I would say that 70% of them are residential and maybe 30 are commercial.
So I don't know that I call the commercial, because commercial is just a whole different beast. I can't even tell you how to find buyers for that. I mean, obviously I could figure it out, but I would cut it down to just the residential people. I would call them and say, hey, I'm following up on the postcard that I just sent you. I'm interested in purchasing your property. Well, how did you get my information? I got it off. I was driving neighborhoods and I found it. And then I continue to send them postcards. You can send my postcard, test a couple different messages. If you can do did you say you're doing postcards or letters? Postcards. Okay. So you could do what looks like a handwritten note on them. You could do that. Are they so spread out that you couldn't go knock on their doors?
No.
Okay.
No, I could do that.
that would be another thing that you could do.
Okay.
Because I think you're right. This is probably a targeted list.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, though, it does. I don't know how much time did you spend on this total? Do you think?
God, too much time. It took me like 2.5 months of 3 or 4 hours a day. Yeah. So.
Okay, let's not do that in the future because that's too much time. It'd be better for you to actually go buy it or just stick to the driving for dollars,
Right.
And the door knocking. So, what are your goals in the next 12 months, Puran?
I would like to reach a financial goal of just making $10,000 a month after taxes. That's kind of, I mean, my long-term goal is to have, a portfolio of rental income properties. Like I know a lot of, people kind of say that same type of thing, but initially, yeah, it's just, it's more to, pay off existing loans I have, school loans primarily, some credit card debt as well, and just be comfortable, able to provide for my family if, things may arise. So, for me, as expensive as this part of the country is, $10,000 a month after tax would be a lot for me because I live on a lot less, and I make that work. So,
okay. So if we could get you one wholesale deal a month, I mean, the average wholesale fee out there's got to be $75K. So we do 25 deals a month here in the DC market.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it's easy to do one deal a month, but it's not like you're trying to do 10 deals a month. So if you do one deal a month after expenses, I mean, let's just say you spent $10,000 or $15,000 to get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a pretty good life, to net like $60,000 a month.
Yes.
So I would just maybe urge you just to set your sights a little higher because it's not a ton of volume to do one wholesale deal a month. I mean, you could practically do that in your sleep once you learn the system. My coaching program actually, runs you through exactly how to step-by-step how to do everything. So maybe once you do your first deal or get some cash, you could join our coaching program because I think you would really, really benefit from it. What other questions or obstacles are you facing that I could help you with before we close things out today?
I mean, I know you mentioned it on various other podcasts, but I mean, right now I have those leads from the county for the city of San Francisco. I have them in Excel, and I know that as I start getting calls and everything that Excel is not the best. I know you mentioned RealFlow for CRM.
Actually, FreedomSoft.
FreedomSoft. Okay.
Yeah. And if anyone's listening and wants to check it out, just go to bradchandler.com/CRM.
Okay. I can get distracted, kind of, what's the word? Or like shiny, whatever, object syndrome.
Yep.
And like, use this and that. And I'm trying to really not spend more money and just do the work because I know that, that's a lot of the thing is like, oh, do this and do that. But it's like, okay, I'm not, getting to my goal and I can do that if I just put in the time. So right now I'm just using Excel. But I know that, as I get responses, I'll need to log them and categorize them.
Yep, absolutely. And an awesome, that CRM is only like $100 a month. So when you have the money, definitely go get that because you absolutely need to have a follow-up system. Absolutely. So I think we have a pretty clear plan for you, Puran. And that is you don't have a ton of money, but you have a ton of time. I think you need to look at how you're spending your time, as I mentioned. I think you need to put more time into it. You need to get the Driving for Dollar app at bradchandler.com/DFD because it will blow your mind. You need to take those targeted lists, and you've already got one, and you need to start door knocking them. You've got a website. Do you know much about technology? Are you good with technology?
I'm fairly good. I'm not like, software engineer, but I'm pretty good.
Well, I don't even know why I asked that because Carrot makes it so easy that you don't even need to be a software engineer. You just actually follow their video step by step. So for you, if you spent more time on your website, writing articles, doing some link building, all the things that Carrot teaches you, those are your three things. And then I would forget everything else. You do need to get some sales training because I don't have enough time to go over that with you. But you really want to make sure that you need to be trained on how to value property, how to estimate renovations, and then the sales part of it. Those are all things that I go really in depth in my training. So do you have some background on how to do that?
I do somewhat, just because, well, I didn't even talk about this, but I sought out a mentor in my local area. Um, Let me shout him out, Jake Knight. He's great. He also does a lot of like flipping and rehabs and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But him and other people I met through Bigger Pockets, kind of rehearsed kind of, motivated seller dialogue and some of that stuff. And I need to do more of it. But I have done some there, and then also in my own business, I kind of, I do business, I do sell people on stuff. So it's not the same industry, but kind of the same, concept to some extent.
Okay. So how do you feel about that plan? Focus on three things, because you can never focus on more than three things: driving for dollar, door knocking, and website. How does that sound?
I feel good about that.
And then just do, and with the kind of in there, I mean, the door knocking, we got to throw the tax delinquents in there because you've already spent the time and money, and I do think it's a good list. So add them, cold call them. So maybe we're adding in a fourth thing, but maybe they could be spread up. And anyway, make sure you call them, skip trace them, get them down to the residential list, and then if you can, door knock them. And while you're door knocking them, driving for dollars, continue to drive for dollars.
Awesome. Yeah, I think especially door knocking the same people that I've already identified. It sounds a lot more approachable than like just approaching new leads too. So I like that idea of like, the direct mail plus door knocking the same people.
And I've got a buddy who's a really sharp investor. Most of his deals he does in San Francisco.
Oh wow.
Or he doesn't do a deal unless it's six figures. Mm-hmm. So if you run into something and it's got hair on it, or you just need another set of eyes, or you want to partner, reach out to me and I'll hook you up. And I know people in just about every major metro market. So if you find a lead somewhere else, just reach out to me.
Okay, absolutely.
So thanks everyone for sticking around to the end. If you'd like to get my free training on the step-by-step process on how or what we took to make $33,750 on a townhouse we never bought or renovated, just go to bradchandler.com/results. You'll be blown away by this training. I just talked to a potential coaching student a couple hours ago, and he's like, that training was amazing. So do not miss it. bradchandler.com/results. Remember, it is possible for you to leave your job and get the freedom you deserve in your life through real estate investing without needing money to buy or renovate the homes. Myself, my students, and countless wholesalers around the world, around the US, well, actually, they're doing it in Canada too. So around the world are living proof. Okay, thanks, Puran, for being a guest on my show. Could everyone say thanks to Puran by clicking the heart button and sharing this episode? This concludes our show for the day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. And if anyone in the audience has any questions, remember, I'm happy to stick around and answer them. If it's now or if it's a week from now, just type them in the comments below. Whether you're watching live or watching the rebroadcast, like I said, please ask your questions and tell me where you're from, as I'll come back and I'll address each and every one of them. So I'm going to just jump over to Facebook really quick and see if there's any questions. All right. May I make a suggestion regarding list? Okay. Certainly you can, Gunnar. Just post it down there. That would be awesome. Okay. So we didn't have any questions. So that concludes our show for the day. And take care. And we will be in touch, Puran.
Okay. Thanks, Brad. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Okay. Bye.